Are you looking for the best coolers of 2024? In this video we will look at some of the 4 best coolers on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. YETI Tundra 45. YETI has long since made a name for itself in the cooler world, and the Tundra 45, $325, is popular for good reason. This mid-sized cooler is the perfect companion for a family weekend getaway, is a reliable road trip companion, and is definitely built to last. With superior insulation qualities and a robust design, this cooler is our top pick, with the only downside being the hefty price tag. The Tundra 45 actually only has a 32.9 L capacity. This size will hold 28 cans and plenty of ice, and is designed to fit long neck bottles. It will not fit a 750 ml wine bottle standing upright, however. A dry goods rack keeps items you don't want to get soggy lifted above the ice, and this cooler's extra thick walls will retain ice for days. A rotomolded polyurethane construction, a freezer quality gasket, burly hall handles, tie-down slots, a drain plug, and a certification of bear resistance from the Interagency Grizzly Bear Committee all help to explain the $325 price tag. YETI is the brand that pioneered the rotational molding or rotomolding technique, which has become the gold standard in premium cooler construction today. This design process ensures perfectly uniform thickness, extra durability, and superior ice retention. The cooler walls are filled with polyurethane foam, which is superior to the lighter weight styrofoam used in more basic coolers, and 2 inches of insulation make YETI coolers the best at retaining cold air. How did this cooler measure up when put through our testing ringer, you ask? Well, the Tundra 45 retained ice for the full 10 days we tested it, to no surprise. Some ice melt occurred, of course, but plenty of cubed ice remained, attesting to YETI's gold standard of ice retention. At number 2. RTIC 45 Quart. Look familiar? The RTIC 45, $250, is nearly identical in design to our top pick, the YETI Tundra 45, and with a lower price tag is a more affordable option. Following in YETI's footsteps with 3 inches of insulation and a rotomolded design, it also has a tight-sealing rubber gasket lid, sturdy rope handles, no-slip feet, and thick rubber latches. Tie slots also allow you to lash it down in a truck bed or on a roof rack, and 2 plugs make draining water quick and easy. It is the only cooler in our lineup to feature dual drain plugs. So why isn't it our top pick? A few things keep YETI the reigning king of coolers. The YETI Tundra 45 is a whole 6 pounds lighter than the RTIC 45, which is a considerable amount of weight, especially when loaded up with ice, food, and drinks. The RTIC is also considered bear-proof, but only the YETI holds the actual certification from the Interagency Grizzly Bear Committee. The handles on this cooler are made of a soft foam material, while the YETI has sturdy, grooved rubber grips which feel more durable and more comfortable to carry. YETI invented the rotomolded cooler, and stands behind the quality of its product with a 5-year warranty, while RTIC only has a 1-year warranty. The YETI Tundra 45 also comes with a dry basket, while you have to purchase this accessory separately if you want one for your RTIC 45. And when it comes down to actual ice retention, the Tundra 45 outperformed the RTIC 45 in our 10-day test, with a much higher amount of cubed ice left in its interior in that time frame, whereas the RTIC only lasted 8 days with passable ice. All that said, money talks, and the RTIC 45 is considerably less expensive than many of the premium coolers in our lineup, thus making it a fantastic choice for those who want quality without having to break the bank. Because of its value to performance ratio, it earns its spot as the best runner-up. At number 3. Igloo Echool. Some folks out there aren't looking for the latest and greatest, most expensive cooler on the market. That's why something like the Igloo Echool, $60, is the perfect budget pick for those who use a cooler for the occasional day trip, keeping groceries cold, or going on an overnight camping trip. This cooler is not rotomolded like many of the others in our lineup, and instead has a plastic frame injected with an insulated foam layer. The Echool is extremely lightweight at 9.84 pounds, which is over 75% lighter than many of the other coolers we tested. This also makes it a good choice for someone who might not want to throw out their back picking up a fully loaded 30-pound cooler. This cooler is not the most durable we tested, and while we used all the others as a step stool and a seat, we wouldn't want to do the same with this one. The lid flexes considerably when weighted, making us wary of its strength. The plastic handles are also flimsy and don't inspire confidence when lifting the cooler fully loaded. This ample cooler also doesn't come with a drain plug. This is typical of smaller coolers, but for a 52-quart cooler with inferior insulation properties, there is going to be a lot of water to drain. Despite these setbacks, one of the biggest selling points of this cooler in our testers' opinion is that it is made with recycled post-consumer resin, and its foam layer is made in such a way that decreases CO2 and VOC emissions. Surprisingly, it retained some ice at the end of our 10-day ice retention test. This was especially surprising because at 48 hours in it had the highest interior temperature of all the coolers at 34.6 degrees Fahrenheit. While this might not be the best performing cooler, nor is it as high quality as our top pick, the YETI Echool remains a great choice for the occasional cooler user who wants something to keep items cold for a day or two, and doesn't want to break the bank. At number 4. RAR Roll R45 Wheeled Cooler. The RAR Roll R45, $349, is nothing if not an impressive looking specimen. With beefy, all-terrain wheels, a bear-resistant, roto-molded body, several different places to attach accessories, and a deep main compartment with a dry bin, this roller makes the most of being a medium-sized cooler. The first thing that is striking about this cooler is the almost comically large wheels. While they may look overbuilt for a medium-sized cooler, they performed impressively over rocky and sandy terrain on a desert camping trip in the Alabama hills of California, and make transport overall a much easier affair. Getting from point A to point B lugging a heavy cooler can be the least enjoyable part of a camping trip. But the RAR couldn't make it easier to roll your perishables to wherever you need them to be. Another noticeable feature of this cooler is that it ditches the typical rectangular shape typical of most models in favor of a taller, cubic one. This makes it convenient to pack into the trunk of a car because it takes up less space and is also easier to handle as one person. The interior is deep and spacious with a 42L capacity and has a removable dry bin that makes organizing food and drinks much easier. With the bin inserted, however, there is only enough room to fit 16 pounds of ice. The ice in this cooler lasted 6 days compared to YETI's 10. The telescoping handle is also noticeably lacking in quality compared to the rest of the cooler. It isn't very smooth to deploy, and feels flimsy, especially considering the $400 price tag. While the bullseye latches work just fine, our testers preferred wider rubberized pull tabs that you can grab and pull with your whole hand, rather than just using 1 or 2 fingers. It is also one of the heaviest coolers we tested, at 37 pounds. Despite these setbacks, the outer rim of the cooler has attachment points for accessories such as a prep board, cup holders, and an umbrella rod holder, making this cooler the most customizable out of any other in our lineup. If you are looking for a cooler that can really go places, the RAR is our top pick for its ease of transport.